My name's Renee, and I'm a recovering addict. Whenever I was 2, my parents divorced. My sister and I were separated. She lived with our mama, and I lived with our granny and our dad. We didn't get to grow up together or spend a lot of time together because we had separate lives. And growing up without my actual mom was a little bit hard on me. She struggled with addiction, she told me, since she was 18 years old, and she wasn't allowed to be a part of our lives. And so she done her own thing. And I remember her coming to visit me sometimes when I was little, really little, and it hurt far worse than it could have helped, and because I knew she had to go. And I always wondered what it would be like to be with her. And when I hit middle school, I dated a guy far older than me, and he almost ruined my life. I smoked my first joint with a group of friends when I was about 15 years old. I'd have been close to 16, but I think it was about 15. And I literally thought I was gonna die. I was always a scaredy cat of the crew, and anybody that knows me will tell you that I was afraid of everything, including drugs. I was afraid of alcohol for the longest time. My dad is an officer, and he always taught me that if you just touch a drug with your finger, it can kill you. And so I was always terrified of drugs and alcohol, and I was just a scaredy cat. Whenever I hit high school, I met Eskel, and we became best friends. He was there for me through everything. He knew everything I'd been through because I had told him, and he never left my side as a friend. He didn't care, and he was literally my best friend. He still is today. And we ended up together, obviously, and we got married whenever we were 18 years old. I moved in with him for a little while, and then I rebelled, kinda, after I turned 18, and I moved in with my mom. Before I got pregnant with Brettley, after I turned 18 and me and Estel married, I moved in with my mom, and I quit school. I quit talking to my friends, I quit talking to my family, I quit talking to everybody. I wanted so badly just to see how it felt to be with my mom. And even though I had the best one out there, who's not here anymore, but so I moved in with my mom, and I quit school. 3 months before graduation, I quit school. So it went on, and we lived with her for a while, and I got pregnant with Brettley, and had him at 19 years old, and things were great for a while. And then before I turned 18, I had dental work done, and so my insurance didn't run out on me, and it was a lot of work, and I was prescribed pain medication, and I liked it. I liked how it made me feel, how it made me talk, because I wasn't very sociable when I was growing up. I was shy and backward, and when they were gone, that was it. They were gone. I didn't have any kind of addictive behavior other than I liked how it made me feel, but that was it. And so after I had Brettley, everything was good for a while, and then I had surgery done on my feet, and I was introduced back to pain medication, and I liked it, but this time I didn't stop. I done it any way that I could. I was still running around with my mom during all this, and we were basically best friends in a drug-related way. I started stealing from my husband, stole all of his money out of his wallet, got to a point where he would have to hide it, but I would always find it, and I would always take every dime that he had. I wouldn't work. I was trash. I pawned his game consoles, his guns. I had rings that he had gotten me that I traded for drugs. I ended up going to a rehab facility. A couple years after that, I went to a rehab facility, and it did not help me because I did not want it. At that time, I was pushed to get help, to get treatment, and I went to go. That's all. I didn't learn anything. I didn't want to learn anything. So I came home, and I was clean for about 4 months. We ended up pregnant with another child, Connor, and I ended up back on pain medication. I thought I'll just take just one, and I'll be okay. And I was okay for a couple of weeks, and then I just kept going back and getting more each day, and so I was trapped again. I was still stealing, and I was still going along with my mom's things that she done to get money, and I'm not good with remembering their ages, but DCS eventually got involved, and I was allowed to be with Brettley and Connor as long as Esther was present, and that went okay for just a little bit, and I kept doing my drugs, and I went to get some clothes one day, and Brettley threw a fit to go with me, and Esther let him go, and that broke court order. So they were taken out of Esther's custody, and they were placed with my sister, who I will always say we are so thankful for being there for our kids. And they were placed with her, and I kept doing my drugs. I was passing drug screens because I don't know how I got by with it, but I was faking them. I was not clean. A lot of detail is kind of hard for me to remember. It just hits me sometimes, so bear with me. But so that went on for a while, and I kept doing drugs, and it just got worse. Before the boys were placed with my sister, I ended up taking so many pills one morning that I had a seizure, and that's when everybody, really kind of found out that I had a problem. A lot of them knew before that, but they didn't know how bad it was, and so when I took the seizure, that's when I went to the first rehab facility, and it didn't help me. But anyways, I kept doing drugs, and I still would go with my mom here and there and stay with her a lot. I was gone all the time. I was gone every chance I could get. I would wait till Esther would leave, and then I would go in and take things and trade them or pawn them. Just typical addictive behavior. And Esther ended up leaving me. I ended up writing bad checks on him, which I was arrested for in court, but he paid it so that I wouldn't have to stay in jail. So when Esther left me, if it could get any worse, it did, and I got so bad that it got to a point to where I wasn't even allowed to talk to Brettley on the phone. I'm sorry. I wasn't allowed to talk to Brettley on the phone. Connor was still little, and he's a tiny little thing. So after that, I hated my life. I hated everybody in my life, everything in my life, everything that surrounded me. I hated it. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have myself. I had nothing. I had a couple pair of jeans, a couple shirts, and I think a pair of tennis shoes, maybe just a pair of flip-flops. Can't really remember, but had to wear my clothes all at the same time, all the time, because I was 75 to 77 pounds, and I couldn't fit in my clothes. It got really, really bad, and I done really bad things to get drugs. Not gonna lie about it. Everybody that knows me and that's really, really close to me know that if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you, and that's just how it is. I done it, you know. I have no lies to tell anymore. So I done really bad things to get drugs, humiliating things to get them, and I always got them. I was highly addicted to Percocet. That was my thing. Nothing else. No meth. Nothing but Percocet, unless I couldn't get Percocet, and then it was just whatever I could get. It was pain medicine. Large quantities of pain medicine. Large. I could do 5 or 6 Percocet 30 milligram at a time and be high for 2 seconds and then feel sick about 10 minutes later, if that. It was real bad, and I got to the ending point where I was tired and I knew I was going to die. I came so close to dying once. Don't even remember how I fell out. All I remember is my mom trying to wake me up in the bathroom floor. I don't remember anything. I just remember waking up, and that's where I was. And I was at my breaking point. I was at my rock bottom. I didn't have my kids. I didn't have my husband. I didn't have anybody. Nobody. But my mom was right by my side this whole time. She was literally there the entire time, but couldn't be there my whole life. So I ended up getting back with Estelle, and I searched for help on my own. I wasn't allowed to even approach my boys if I seen them in the store with my sister. I wasn't allowed to walk up to them. I was told to walk away from my kids. I was a terrible person. I was a bad mom and a bad wife, a bad everything. Me and Estelle got back together, and I searched for help on my own, and I came across Becky Harper and Denise Bankston, who I love with all my heart. And Becky searched for me a rehab, and I got in, and it was Buffalo Valley for women, and it was about 3 hours away, a little bit over that maybe. I knew I was going to die, so I went. I wanted it for myself. Nobody else cared. I had ruined every relationship that I ever had with everybody. I went on my own, and with the help of drug court. I wasn't in drug court. They were just kind enough to help me, and so I went to Buffalo Valley for women, and I stayed 30 days, and I could have stayed longer, but I didn't. I knew I was ready, but I was terrified to come home. I was so scared to come back to this place that I was surrounded by people and family that were still addicted, that I knew that I was going to have to tell them to stay away from me. And I was so scared that I would come home and I would mess up and I would never have my kids back ever again and lose my husband and myself, and it was very, very terrifying. And I didn't go anywhere for an entire year. Estel only left me to go to work. When he left, the blinds were closed, the door was locked. And I would talk to my granny here and there, and that was about it. My dad sometimes, but I had no interest in talking to nobody. I didn't want to tell anybody that I done this and that I completed that. I wanted to prove it without words. And so we finally started getting visitation rights to the boys, and I got pregnant with Allie, our little girl. She came at the right time. She came at the exact right time for me and for Estel, and got pregnant with her, and we were doing our visits, and we ended up getting the overnights and the whole deal. My boys were gone 15 months after I was clean. We had to do court dates. We had to do drug testing all the time. It was random all the time. Estel had to do it too. We done it for 15 months straight before the judge would give me my boys back. And at the time, I thought it was awful. I thought that, how can you hand somebody their kids back after 2 weeks that just caught a meth charge, but you can't give me mine back? And it went on and on and on. It felt like forever. And but today I'm thankful for that, because nobody could believe anything that I said. I didn't want them to. It was just frustrating because they're my kids. And so it took 15 months of being clean and proving that to the court system for them to get to come home. They got to come home, and we had Allie, and everything has been great since then. I attended NA meetings faithfully for a long time. I don't do it anymore. It's been a long time since I've been, but that's just because my life is crazy, and I know you should make time, but we have since bought our own home. I'm very thankful for my life. It could have been taken from me multiple times. My kids could be without a mommy, and my daughter wouldn't be here. My granny that raised me, she ended up getting cancer, but she got to see me get my life back together, get my boys back, and she got to be there when Allie was born. And I can't tell you enough how easy it is to get into that kind of lifestyle. And you're not going to change unless you want to. Nobody can push you and make you do it. It's hard to explain, because it's like there's something inside you that just, it pulls it away and it's gone. You don't want it. You could stand beside somebody doing medicine and you still wouldn't want it. That's where I'm at. Not that I'll put myself in that situation. I'm just saying, if that ever were to arise and I was standing right there, I wouldn't want it, because it went from me. I got sick of chasing. That's all I done. I was in the car all hours of the day, half of the night. I didn't stop till I got it. Was terribly, deathly sick if I didn't have it there at the end. It's like the flu times a million, and that is no exaggeration. It's awful, and I wanted to die so many times when I was in rehab. And I had tried one time to stop on my own. It was right before I went to rehab, and I thought, I'm just going to try. And Estel will tell you that. He laid on the couch with me for two days, crying, screaming, and I couldn't do it. It's very, very bad. It's dangerous, and I never want to feel that way again. And I'm not good with words. I'm not a big storyteller. I'm honestly terrible at it. But I promised God that if He would help me and keep me sober, help me to stay the good mom that I know that I am, wife, sister, friend, daughter, whatever. I promised Him if He would just help me to hold on, if He would grasp onto me just a little bit tighter to help me, that I would shine for other people. And it's humiliating. It really is, but at the same time, I know that it's going to help somebody. I know that, well, I've had so many messages, so many people, message me and ask for advice or just to talk to me because they're in active addiction and they don't know how much more they can take. And that tells me that you want help. And you cannot be afraid to reach out for it. I know it's embarrassing, and I know that you don't want your family to know, but they do. They already know because you change into an entirely different person. That girl that I was, I have no idea who she is, and I will never be her again. It's like it was somebody I knew that I'm not friends with anymore. It feels entirely weird to me that I was in that state. And if you need help, please reach out for it. I will help you get help. I will help you. I will point you to people that will help you. They will welcome you with open arms, and they will do everything that they can to help you. I promise. If you just need to talk to me, if you're a recovering addict and you feel like you're stressed and what if I mess up because I'm stressed, or if you got stuff going on in your life and you need somebody to talk to, I will talk to you, and I will not tell anybody anything. I know that it's hard to, but for me, and I'm sure other people can relate, but everybody's different. But to me, it's not hard at all to stay clean. It's not. My mom, I really just entirely stuttered. But my mom, she still struggles with addiction today. She has ever since I know 2 years old. I could have been younger, probably was. She still struggles today. I have a sister that's going through a lot right now also, and it's rough stuff. And I've had to flat just block them out completely. Not just them, other people that was in my life. I can see somebody walking through Walmart that was there in my active addiction, and I have to turn my head. And I mean, it's not that I don't love them, it's that I love myself too. And my kids, they're going to come before anything, anybody. And I live with my mistakes every single day of my life. It's not easy. I have flashbacks sometimes. Just stuff pops in my head that, oh, remember when you done this, or remember when you said that, or it's bad. I don't hate myself for it, but I hate the person that I was. And I will never, ever, ever be her again. And I'm 8.5 years clean today. Well, not today, but March the 9th made 8 years. It feels like it was a long, long time ago. It's crazy to me. It's amazing to me what God can do. And I've had people to ask me what my opinion is on this, and I'm going to give it. I don't want to make anybody mad or think that just because you have a different opinion that it's going to make me mad or anything like that. Everybody has different opinions, and mine is this. I think that drug addiction is not a disease. You're choosing that. You can get suckered into it, but if you are in active addiction, you're choosing to do that. You're choosing to go out and to get high instead of getting help. You're choosing to stay that kind of person. It's not a disease. You're not born with addiction. You're not. To me, that's just how I feel. And people will probably disagree with that, and that's okay. But I just feel like it's not a disease. Cancer is a disease within you. You have the choice to be what is within you. And I had the choice when I liked that pain medication. I had the choice to never ever stick it back in my mouth, but I did. I chose to because I wanted to feel that way. I wanted to be numb. I wanted to be happy, and I wanted to go out and socialize, and I chose that. I'm very strong on my decision about that. Opinion, rather. If you have loved ones that are going through this, you are not alone. You're not. And sometimes they need tough love. You cannot enable them. If you're giving them money because they need cigarettes and gas or pop, you're enabling them. You have their best interests at heart, and everybody knows that. But to an addict, that even if it's $5, if you're giving them $5 and you thinking, well, it's okay. If they're just asking me for $5, they're not going to get a pill with it. Yes, they are. Because chances are they already have the $30 that they need, and all they need left is $5. I've done it many times. $2. That's just how it is. And sometimes, and it's hard. It's hard to push them away, but you have to keep them alive. And 9 times out of 10, when they have nothing, they have nowhere to live, they have no vehicle, they don't have their kids, they can't get cigarettes, they literally have nobody to help them, then 9 times out of 10, that's going to tell them, hey, you're going to have to get it together. You're going to have to step up, and you'll have to get your life back. And sometimes it doesn't, and bad things happen, and I hate it. I do, but it does. And I'm one of those in that percentage that made it, and I could have not made it. It's hard to sit here and talk about it. After 8.5 years, it's hard for me to talk about it. My plan has been for the past 2 or 3 years to go to drug court and tell my story to them. And I end up getting stage fright, and I can't do it. I know I do these videos, and I know that I do it that way, but looking out into a crowd full of people is just not my thing. I hope that don't sound selfish, but I wanted to do it this way, and I hope that each and every single one of you find your purpose, because you do have one, and it is not an addict. It's not. I hope that you continue your journey with your programs, and that you succeed in every single thing that you do. And anybody else out there that's not in the drug court program, this is for you too. I hope that God is in the midst, and that He helps pull you out. You just gotta hold on to Him. You just gotta grab Him, hold on, He'll pull you out. I know it hurts, and I know it's hard to be sick, and I know that when you have a clear mind, and when you come to your senses after you do clean up, and everything hits you all at once, and nobody loves you, and nobody cares about you, and nobody's going to be there for you, yes, they will. They will. But you cannot expect somebody to pick up where you left off and trust you and believe you. Just prove it. Don't ever expect that out of anybody. Just go out there and do what you have to do, and go to meetings if you need to, and do what you gotta do. If you have to set up a thing, I don't know how drug court does it, but if you have to set it up to where you pay them to randomly drug screen you to keep you intact, do it. Do it. You do what you have to do to stay who you are and be somebody. Whenever I first got clean, it took when I was telling you all about how I tried to do it on my own, I couldn't. I literally, I couldn't do it after 2 days, okay? But then, when I went to rehab, it literally was gone in about 3.5, 4 days. It was gone. It was over with. It's that easy. It might not be that simple for other people, but I was on drugs for a long, long time. And I don't know if it was something in my mindset or what, but I was really deathly ill. I still was deathly ill, but it was gone in 3.5, 4 days. When I walked outside, I promise you, I had never seen such green grass and blue skies in my life. I could hear birds chirping. I squinted when I went out because it was so bright. I couldn't see anything or hear anything when I was on drugs because my mind was so blinded. So blinded. It's a crazy thing, and I just want for people to experience what I did and to go from that to buying our own home and thriving. Me and Essel have had it rough on both sides, and it's not been easy. But we're raising our kids the way we should. I am who I am. That's never going to change. It's just amazing to me that, and all of you guys, my Facebook people, mainly my Facebook people, other than my immediate family, you guys have been so great to me and to my family, and you always have backed my kids up 100% before me, and that's exactly how it should be. You've always had my back. You always listen to my videos and my posts, and I know it's been a lot, and I'm not going to quit doing it because I want to help people, and I'm proud of myself. I've never been proud of myself, ever, like besides when I had my kids and stuff, but in general, I've never been proud of anything that I've done, ever, and I'm proud of myself because that was a hard battle to fight, and for a long time, I didn't fight at all. I gave Satan every piece of me, and I was happy with it. I was fine with that. If you knew me back then, I'm forever going to apologize for anything that I've ever done to hurt anybody, because that was not me. But I still done it. I've made amends with most of the people in my life, and there are a few that was just like, okay, and went on, and that's fine with me, but I just want to know that my side is clear, and if I've ever said or done anything to hurt anybody, please know that from the bottom of my heart, I am sincerely sorry for anything wrong that I've ever done to anybody out there. There's a lot of people that I don't associate with, and I hope that they know that I'm going to still love them from afar, and always, always pray for them and hope that they turn their lives around. And that's pretty much the gist of my life right now. It is pretty amazing, even though it might sound boring to you. No, I'm just kidding. But I hope that this video stuff inspires somebody. A lot of people. I hope that everybody loves it, and I want to thank Leanne for helping me with this. Can't thank her enough. She's such a sweetheart, and I want y'all to keep having my back, because it's not what keeps me going, but it keeps me thriving to help other people. And I know it probably gets old sometimes, me sharing the same old stuff and saying the same old things and going on video and that. I'm not sorry for it. I love you all, though, and no matter if you're in my life or you're not in my life, if you've ever played any part in my life, I do love you, and I wish the best for everybody out there, and if you need help, please, please, please don't hesitate to message me or text me, and if it's not me, just go to somebody that you can trust and that's going to be there for you in the right way. There are so many people that would welcome you with open arms. I promise. All you have to do is reach out, and but I hope that this inspires a lot of people. I hope that one day soon that I can get up there and talk about my story and maybe go a little bit further into detail. I'm not that brave yet. Everything that I said is the truth. There's just a lot of detail that 8.5 years later I'm still not very brave enough to come out with that yet. But I will, and I hope that I can continue to do these things and get out there and not just here. I would like to go to rehabs and tell my story. When I was in rehab, there were a lot of women that were in recovery that came, and it helped me a lot. So that's that, and I love you guys, and I appreciate you all so much for being there for me, for pushing me away, for pulling me close. Every single role that there is to be played, I appreciate every single person and every single part of my life. I can't say it enough, but I'll stop because I've said it 50 million times. So I love you all, and I hope that this is a major blessing to somebody, at least one person out there. If I can help one person, then I'm doing just fine. Thank you guys. I love you all so much.
Oh. Love you. More sugar.